Hey, what's up, guys? So this video is going to be about Grant Cardone's book, Sell or Be Sold. It's one of the best books that I've ever read on selling. It got me in when I was in my sales career. It got me pretty much, at the to be in the top of my district where I was. So, I wasn't the greatest salesperson, but I wasn't the worst, right? So these are different things that you can understand and know. Like, you can be a good salesperson, and he's probably one of the best sales trainers out there. I met Grant about 5 or 6 years ago at a veterans event. He's a really chill, laid back dude. But anyway, let's get into the book. So the book is called "Sell or Be Sold" by Grant Cardone. He wrote it, I think, in 2012, and basically, yeah, it's a great book. So let's get into the contents of the book. So the first chapter says, "Selling is a way of life." Let's see. Sorry for the. Okay. Selling is a way of life. Selling. And then you go to the first chapter and it says selling is a prerequisite of life. Selling impacts every person on the planet. Your inability to sell, persuade, negotiate, convince others will affect every area of your life, will determine how well you survive. And that's so true, right? Like, if you don't know how to sell, if you don't know how to negotiate, you don't know how to persuade people to do things that you want them to do, then you're going to struggle, right? You're not going to feel totally complete in what you're doing. What do I mean by that, right? If you can't persuade that girl to go out with you, you're going to feel inadequate. You're going to feel the rejection, right? And you want to move forward with that. And if you want to build something, you're going to have to learn how to sell. You're going to have to learn how to sell. You're going to have to learn how to negotiate. You're going to have to learn how to persuade. Right. So he also says no matter what title or position is in life, what your role is in the company or a team, you at some point have to convince others of something. Selling is used every day by every person on the planet. No one is excluded. Selling is not just a job or a career. Selling is essential to the survival and well-being of every living individual. Your ability to do well with life depends on your ability to sell others on the things which you believe. You need to know how to negotiate, how to get agreement from others. The ability to get others to like you, work with you, want to please you, determines how you will survive. Selling is not a job. Selling is a way of life. So if you learn how to sell, right? A lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to get into sales. I'm not a salesperson." That's fine, but you're lacking the quality. You're lacking good skills in learning how to persuade and talk to people, right? Because selling is a way of life. There's other parts in the book. Let's see here. Chapter 2 says, all right, so selling. So chapter 1, selling is a way of life. Selling is a prerequisite of life. The commission, beware of false data. Selling critical to survival. Selling is very critical to survival. If you can't sell, if that politician can't sell you on getting elected, then he's not going to get elected, right? Well, depending on, other things, but I'm not going to get into that. That video is not about that. But your ability to sell or be sold, sell or survive. And those are the different things that you need to understand and know. Chapter 2 is salespeople make the world go around. Selling drives economies. Sales is doing the grunt work. We as salespeople, we do the grunt work, right? My friend said it the best yesterday. He said, you're going against the wind every day, right? Because you're trying to get people to say yes to you, right? On a product that that they need. You have a great product, but if they don't need it, because especially in like software sales, because software sales, they need to update that thing like every year or two in order to get a new software and get the new upgrade, get the new firewalls, get the new everything, right? So sales or college. I would say if you want to make money, if you really, really want to make money, and that's your motivation coming out of high school, go into sales, right? Period, right? And there's a reason why sales skills are not taught in school. Sales skills are not taught in school because they want you to be a worker. They want you to just go to college, get into student debt, and not thrive. And you're paying back your college student loan debt for 20, 30 years, right? I know somebody that they died and they their kids had to pay their college student loans. It's crazy. I'm so grateful that I went to the military, but nonetheless, all professions rely on sales. All professions rely on sales. It doesn't matter what it is, right? You have a sell. I'm just gonna say this. Any software sales people that are selling to corporations, they had to sell that software to that for all these other jobs to happen, right? Computer engineer, coder, doesn't matter. That salesperson had to sell that software to that company to get a contract in order for them to have all these other jobs that are in it, right? So salespeople don't get a lot of credit. They should, right? So chapter 3 is professional or amateur. Are you a professional or are you an amateur in your sales career, right? A professional is somebody who is they know the ins and outs of the sales cycle. They know the ins and outs of their product. They know the objections that are going to come out, right? They're able to predict what the customer is going to say, right? Chapter 4, the greats, right? Commitment, greener pastures, the power of prediction. Predicting what the customer is going to say. You already know, like if you've been in this sales cycle for a long time and you've been doing, let's say, software sales, pharmaceutical sales, solar sales, doesn't matter. If you have been in that sales cycle long enough, you're going to know what that person is going to say. Period. You're going to know what that person is going to say. You're going to know what they say. You're going to know how it happens, all that stuff. Right? The only reason you don't like selling as a career or in life, the only reason you don't like selling is because you're not selling anything. Right? That's the only thing that I can say. Like, the only reason that you don't like selling is because you are not selling anything. To qualify as a great, you have to become obsessed with selling. Grant Cardone has another book called Be Obsessed or Be Average. And you have to be obsessed with the thing that you're trying to do. Right? You know, when I was in sales, I was obsessed with it. I read every book. I tried to do everything that I could to learn about sales. Right? So, chapter 5, the most important sales. Selling yourself. They don't buy the product, they buy you. They trust you. The product is there. Yes, the product can be great and all that other stuff, but they buy you. They're not going to buy anything else. Conviction is the make or break point, overcoming the 90-day phenomenon. The 90-day phenomenon is true, right? If you're in sales for 90 days and you're not succeeding, you have to overcome that, right? Because at that point, you know the sales cycle, you know what your product is, you know how to sell it, all that different stuff. You need to know everything about sales, about that product. You need to know it, right? If there's something that you don't know, ask your manager, right? Chapter 6 is the price myth. Oh, when the customer says, when they say, it costs too much. No, they'll make it work if it's worth their while. If you're able to close them, they will make it work. I highly recommend that you watch a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross. It has Alec Baldwin, the only good Alec Baldwin movie. And some other, it has Al Pacino. It has some other guys in there. Not Kevin Costner, the other guy, the guy that played in the presidential thing on Netflix. But anyway, so the price experiment is love, not price. Like people move mountains for the things that they want. They move mountains for the things that they want. So it's not the price myth. Point blank, period. Chapter 7, your buyer's money. There is no shortage of money. Your buyer and his money. Second money is easier than the first money. So your buyer's money, what does that mean? Well, that basically means that your buyer has the money. They have the money, just like the price myth. Chapter 8 is you're in the people business. Right? You're in the people business. Get to know people. You have to love people to be in this business. And you have to know that people are going to reject your product. They're going to say no. Point blank, period. Just go for no. Go for no, go for no, go for no. Because it's going to eventually get you to that yes. Don't get caught up in like how I did. Don't get caught up in the, why is this person saying no? We have a great product. Like, I want to quit. No, you stay. And you push past that, because salespeople, you are the grunt. You are going against the wind. You know that when you walk into the office, the tide is against you, but you know that you can navigate it if you stay firm, right? And you're getting closed deals. Like that's the most important part. Chapter 9, the magic of agreement. Agreement is huge. Always agree with the customer. Always agree with the customer. There's an old adage that said that the customer is always right. That's true. But when you agree, because like if you disagree with them, it's not going to go in your favor. So you might as well agree with them and then come back with say, hey, I agree, and then come back and say, hey, you basically give your rebuttal to their objection. Say I agree, and you come back and you say I give a rebuttal to their objection. Chapter 10, establishing trust. Right, so you must the customer must trust you, right? And you only have, it's like talking to a hot girl. You only have maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and that's on the long side. You have 1 to 2 minutes to actually get that girl to like you. It's the same thing with the customer. Sales is a lot like dating, right? Sales is a lot like dating, and until you're able to close the deal and get all that stuff going, it's going to be hard for you, right? So you have to get them to trust you, whether it's instantly, whether it's right then and there. Like, you have to get them to trust you. Chapter 11, give. Yeah, so just give your knowledge, give who you are. I have to reread this book again. This is such a great book. The hard sell, the formula for the hard sell. I know you a lot of guys have a hard sell out there. So he says the truth is you can get paid whatever you want. The great shortage. Yeah, the hard sell. If you have a hard sell, somewhere in the sell cycle. I'm sorry for the delay. I'm just reading off I'm just reading from the table of contents. But if you're having a hard sell, you did something wrong in the sell cycle, right? You did something wrong in the sell cycle. You did something wrong, and basically the cycle that you skipped a step, basically. So chapter 13, massive action, right? You have to take massive action. You have to trust in your managers if they're good managers. If you know you have a good manager, a good sales manager, they've been where you've been. They were grunts too, and then all of a sudden they became the platoon sergeant, right? So trust in what they're doing, trust in what they're saying, trust in that, right? Chapter 14, the power base. Your power base is basically people that you know, right? Your power base is people that like your friends and your family. That's your power base. Chapter 15, time. How much time do you have? You have to be good at time management. Chapter 16, attitude. You have to have a great attitude, right? That attitude has to be great. You have to have a great attitude in sales. I don't care what anything. The reason why I was the number one in the company is because I had a crappy attitude. My attitude sucked, right? And so if you have a bad attitude, it's going to destroy all the work that you've done. It's going to destroy all the work that you've done. Point blank, period. It's going to hurt you. You have to have a good attitude. Whether it's affirmations, taking a break. I used to take breaks all the time in my job because talking to people and just, and I knew if I had resistance going into the store or wherever I was selling, I knew that I was going to have a bad day. I knew that I wasn't going to get a sale. I knew I wasn't going to get a lead, whatever, right? So chapter 17, the biggest sell of my life, he talks about his wife, getting his wife, the perfect sales process. Step 1, greet. Step 2, determine wants and needs. Step 3, select product and present bill value. Step 4, make proposal. Step 5, close the deal and exit. That's the perfect sales process. Let me read that again. Step 1, greet. Step 2, determine wants and needs. Step 3, select product, present/bill value. Step 4, make proposal. Step 5, close the deal. Chapter 19, success in selling. Chapter 20, sales and techniques. And then in this book, he has quick tips to conquer the biggest challenges in selling: rejection, discipline, the economy, competition, all that stuff. You are in the no business, right? You are going to get rejected in your sales career, period. That's just the way that it goes, right? So, and that's pretty much it. That's my introduction or, basis on Sell or Be Sold. And it's a great book. I highly advise you to get it. He's one of the greatest sales trainers that I've seen out here. I wear his hat all the time. Cash flow. I'll give you a quick story. I was in Tijuana and I was in a club, and I've put my exploits on Mexico on here so people know that I've been in Mexico. But the guy was like, "Oh, Grant Cardone." I was like, "Yep, Grant Cardone." Yep. So this is basically, a testimonial of his book and how it changed my life and how it changed my sales career. So, all right, guys, all that I have, man. If you guys want more videos like this, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Done.